Hello Gambia nuyu naa leen maa ngi leen a nuyu di leen sant di leen gërëm ma ñëw rek briefly pour def vidéo bii nii maa ngi waxoon ne dama xaar ba weekend ma ñëw live sax def live video but because of things are happening so fast you can't wait, you have to just come out and li gën a tax sax mu ma gën a push ma gën a génn sax mooy ne I saw this Human Rights Commission mu ñëw binda ne the Human Rights Commission ñu ngi binda di jéem a mel ni dañoo doo doom di laaxa doom when people were arrested, protesters, these young people were arrested, you expect me you will hear them to write to condemn these unjust or kidnapping of the police of these young people. That is what you expect from them, but instead they came out, the mainly the jema blame these journalists or whatnot, and this journalist was doing his job. That's what he was doing. And these young people who were arrested today as well, they were out today to express their rights. Constitution bi right bi mu leen jox ñooñu loolu la ngeen di ko def mooy ne right to come out and protest as a citizen, and dañ am lu ñu naxari ñun ñëpp ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa nekk ñu génn di protest and then ñu ngi leen a jaay doole. This is where you expect these kind of so-called human rights commission pour mu war a génn pour mu condemn loolu defu ko, mu ngi ñëw di def leneen luñ ko santut loo xamante ne fayuñ ke you know what people, yéen a surprise. I'm not surprised because, like I said, the live video I was going to come out and make this weekend, it was going to be about these people. These people, I was going to come, and I will definitely find time to come out this weekend, perhaps. Moine, these commissions, these lawyers, these very legal profession, ñooñu téye not ñu téye ñu squeeze bépp loo xamante ne we managed to have, or perhaps askan wi waroon ko at least gis muy suñ whether suñ assets or whether xaalis boo xamante ne dugga na si réew mi from 2017 ba time bi du balam fa jógee. Do we know how much money came into that country? Funds yi nga xamante ne jox nañ ñu ko ñu dugga si biir dëkk boobu xam nañ xaalis bi naka la tollu. We're not even just talking about Jammeh, these assets that we're demanding. There are other funding that came in that country from 2017 because Jammeh bim demee, like the European Union, how much money they gave us funding in that country. Do you know ñan ñoo three farab xaalis boobu nan ñoo ko wona mooy these people, because these people were the people that benefited the most during the transition. So therefore, Gambia, you do not expect nothing less than what you hear these people say. You do not expect to hear or to see anything other than what you are reading. This Human Rights Commission, you been about this journalist who is doing his job. Ñu war ko wax ne ko thank you very much, but no, they will not. Because like I said, Tambadou came back in Gambia 2017. You see, there are some people who were alleging that Tambadou was the one who actually paid for Adama Barrow's deposit for the presidential candidate. This is what people allege. Therefore, pour mom, ñu delloo ko njukkal, he was given that job allegedly as the AG. And then when that happened, his friends, the gang, the group, the caboodle of lawyers who was working with him, like in Hague and all those outside, the connection, the connection they had there, the clique they had there, all of them decided to fly back to Gambia because their friend is the AG. Therefore, they will be given opportunity to come and through Farah Suny Halisbi because they have seen how much money was coming in, and they decided, lolu. This is what happened. That was how all these many commissions were set up by Tambadou and this new government of Adama Barrow in 2017, during the transition. You know what? I made a video last time talking about Tambadou. Somebody called me. I don't know whether this person wanted me to call his name. He called me and tell me, either you're up to something. Munema, what you said is true. And he signposted me to go and read an article that he wrote, and I said that I was busy. Why didn't I go read? But I just briefed through Masedko. And he's talking about, I will share it, he's talking about the many commissions that were set up during the transition. And guess who were the people that was in those many commissions, Gambia? These were the very people who were Tambadou's colleagues, friends at The Hague. Most of these people were working outside the Gambia, and their connection during the struggle, death like a bond between them. They were friends. So these people ran back quickly before you knew, because we were all in a celebration mood. Gambia has decided. These very people, hey, let's go and go quickly before people know what is happening. We all go and set up all this commission, give our friends jobs, and then they can all this is what happened. And the Janet Commission was all part of these commissions that were set up, Gambia. Janet Commission, they put their godmother. Ami Bensouda is their godmother. Most people in Gambia, most lawyers in Gambia, Ami Bensouda is their godmother. They went through Ami Bensouda's chamber. They walked under her. They have so much respect for Ami Bensouda because different job opportunities. Some of them cannot. They worship her. She was given an opportunity. TRC lead council. Same people that was at Hague. Janet, the Human Rights Commission, at the Constitutional Review, Mr. Jallo. Gambia, go and connect the dots. These were the very people, they were all outside Hague. Kana Aniben Suda Mofanekon, Temom Moisen godmother. Therefore, they did yep, you take send Harity Yepsi Plasi. Plasi Hamilton, they will be paying them 500,000 per month. Gambia. And Tambadou being the connection for Isilane, Monekon the AG. He made sure he created opportunities for them to squander things resources. That was the very reason, instead of even NI9 KSB, instead of him as the AG, you allow government sing lawyers, you under him at the AG, at the Justice Department, instead of him allowing those lawyers who are there to give them opportunity to prosecute the NI9 case, no, he decided to give it privately to Antuman Gay. And guess who was there? His own brother was there. Gambia, you remember this? Remember this, Gambia. Connect the dots. Please, I want you to sit down and you reflect and you connect the dots. How about Tambadou and his clique? Then you rata and you ben je, you nyep na film neka, you delo Tambadou decided to resign when Adama Barrow gave him ultimatum. Mu decide to resign. This is what they did, Gambia. It's not just the Janet Commission. It's not just the Jame assets. It's not just our assets. It is in all other these commissions. This is the very reason why this Human Rights Commission, instead of them, the name, one and a human right, no, it is for Tambadou now. They are speaking to try to defend their own link to Gambia government. The link is Tambadou. The Tambadou that gave them job, you're defended. They're not for the people there. No, they're not for us. They are for Tambadou. Because, Kula Abalbot, Wala for hall, Tambadou created jobs for them. How can you expect these people to say anything about that Tambadou? How can you expect these people to come and join us in our fight to demand transparency and accountability and to say the least? How do you expect these people to do that? You will not. Don't waste your time. You're not going to hear these people. Because for all you know, some of these people, their names are there in the list. And if we demand, if they allow us to demand the Janneh Commission, we go and look, perhaps we might turn around and say, okay, let's go and review all those commissions again. That is what they're scared of. That's why Ben bin ekatini deng si buka dega sen tanka why bulen ko nagu Gambia. That is what happened. And then you see the likes of Ahmad Bah. They try to threaten people that they know. So why are they doing that? Because they want to intimidate us. They're trying to scare us to keeping quiet. Because Gambian, a lot of us are scared. If we hear, oh, somebody's been sued, journalists been sued, some other journalists will be scared because they'll be like, oh, I don't have money to take lawyers because lawyers in Gambia are expensive. Da, 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 da. This is why, this is what they're doing. They're trying to intimidate journalists, putting you keep quiet. That is the job that Ahmad Bah is trying to do. Can you imagine? Shame on Ahmad Bah. As a minister, yo, journalists, no one encourage the violence. You want to hold accountable, and that is what these people are doing. You come out on radio trying to threaten Nedagasu journalists. Shame on you. How can anybody call Hamentene your minister and Nedagasu it? How? But also you see Batamedu came out and denying, oh, this is not how it happened. You see Alpha Bari, you see other people are coming out. This is how they want to see the new everybody will start coming out and writing, feel whatever, dropping outside the media, thinking that they're gonna say, oh, I was not part of it, or I did not benefit. Therefore, New Bailen, this is what they're planning on doing. And then you have Minister of Information, Mugena Diwane, oh, you know, the assets we use it. Some of it is being used by the government, some of it is this, and then this blame game, like you're definitely couldn't and get point fingers at each other. The government send the Minister of Information, Purmugena, point fingers at the Janneh Commission. Oh, go and ask the lead council. They are the one that sold this thing. No. We're not asking nobody. We're asking Adam Abaro and Batamedu. We're not gonna ask the lead council. We're asking the government who we trusted, who we gave the mandate to look after our properties. The person who we elected in 2017, we decided, Najame, we have had enough of you. Go. We give it to Adam Abaro to look after our properties, to look after our assets. This is who we trusted. This is who we elected. He decided to give Batamedu the responsibility to look after our assets by investigating and holding people Jame accountable and seizing whatever asset there was to put it back in the community or give it back to the people. And Batamedu decided to put his friends in the Janneh Commission to come and do whatever. His friends, his then allegedly girlfriend, now wife, to make sure that these people are the one and distributing it. And he decided, allegedly, based on this report, to one of the most expensive areas, so hamne askan bir ñoko bom, muy di tourist area, lani fa neka, nga hamne ñeneen ñi ci leen ko joxe dañoo ñëw di ko nagu. Batamedu decided, allegedly, based on this report, ne daf ko jaay jabaram ay Gambia. Li mom la ñoo wax lan. As a lawyer, waaye kas jàpp ko Gambia, because Japut Batamedu as a lawyer, he is a human rights lawyer, Lola. He's not a criminal lawyer. Because as a lawyer, sub-profession ethics, la jangal, about conflict of interest. Naka ngene blame Batamedu gani? Don't come to blame. Because the same very part Batamedu, kinga hamentene, mom brother, nundef, mom len johon neko, as AG, KC9 bilumsidef, mujoko, keneen privately koku nonu mu or ko ne broda mu fa dina fa benefit instead of mom waxlaat ne suma ko defé nonu suma broda mu ngi fofu de mom tamit suñ ko jëlé jox ko éléga sibir dina ñëwaat ci man ne oh fa yefi family la def nepotism la def yefi conflict of interest no xalaatut ko because his brain doesn't think that fast as a lawyer. He doesn't think. The same Batamedu again repeated the same thing again. Ko xamantene sa jabar la. I'm sure during the Janneh Commission, whatever was going on, you already perhaps had intention of going and getting married to this person if you were going out with each other, according to what people are saying. I don't know. I'm not confirming. I'm saying allegedly he was your girlfriend then. You know you intend to marry this person. So when they said they are interested in purchasing this particular land, oh, no. You know what? Man, demal jëndi feneen fo buga jënd dina la fa jëndal or dina make sure you get, but not this. as far as these assets are under me, I'm not going to even allow you to buy the smallest thing because of accountability, because of transparency, because of conflict of interest. Dina don't advise his brother against taking that case, and also his wife now to even buy anything about that belongs to Gambia. Lolu la ko don wara advice as a lawyer, but ba Tambadou ñu ne ñorut. Gis naa ne ñorut man ci suma boppa suy wax xam naa ne kii ñorut. Xam naa ne kii wax naa leen ne it's not street smart. Why nak moo ko tey? When it comes to money, he know how to make money on the back of the people. Am na naka la moo make wealth for himself on the back of the people. Xam na ko. Because that is why he created most of his lawyer friends. Now, they are calling themselves millionaires. They are bragging about how much money they have. Oh, they have assets here, they have assets there. Oh, I have Kir Senegal, you know, and Kir am Halis. Fallen to Halis be. And I just learn recently because they believe in ñom lawyers, ñom, especially those people who are exile on New Delhi, they believe they deserve more than the lawyers that were in Gambia. That was why, if you remember, I made a video about the Bar Association. When Gambians were crying, when the vice president was appointed illegally, they zipped their mouth. Why? Because that time, you get to dig at the lobby how they're going to be. These commissions are set up so that they can have. So therefore, if you say anything, you will not be put in. So they were quiet. Gambians were crying for the illegal appointment of the vice president. They were quiet. I came out in 2018 and I made a video about them. They didn't say anything. The same very people, lawyers, they are constitutional lawyers, they were quiet. If Halifa Saleh did not come out and say, the appointment was unconstitutional, and the Gambians were crying for how many months or even a year, they were quiet. And they knew about it, but they were... Why? Because of their own selfishness. Sen buge, sen buga, sen po sireklen faneka. Lolo tahon you nopi. They have let the people down on countless occasions. Ni lolendef. Mota the Bar Association nyar la faneka. Ni nga xamne ñoo fa nekkon during Jammeh di head destiny ka bi ñu fa. Ñu seen am nañ seen own Bar Association. Mo am ñi nga xamne nak ñoy ñu ne ñom ñoy the elites of the Bar Association, the elites of the lawyers. They were the very people ñom ñoo form seen own Bar Association, and those are the very people. If you go and bring the list, you will find out that when you go to all these commissions, they were sitting right there receiving fat salaries. Opportunities created by Bar Tambadou because they were friends. And the same very people believe ne ñom ñoo gëna yellow profession ci nek Gambia doctor si fa nek di liggéey every day with the small salaries they're paying them. Nurses, teachers si nga xamantene ñoo jangal nit ñi ñom ñoo leen jangal ñom ñu ne because they are lawyers, they went and work at Hague. They ñom ñu ne ñom ñoo gëna yellow. Ñom ñu ne ñoo gëna yellow ñooñu pour ñu leen a fay salary, ñoo gëna yellow ñooñu fat pension. ñom ñu ne ñu delluwaat di current age si boppam si kabudu boobu la bokka moo tax du ñemee wax dara mu delluwaat. Remember, he went recently di wax ne dafa bëgg a pour George si ñu defar leen a pension scheme boo xamante ne they will be paying them whether for life or what not. I was not even following these people because they are jokes. Do you know why? Because they went and definitely said meeting ñu foog na ñoom ñoo gën a yellow askan bi because they have tried it. They've been enjoying from 2017 to date. You realize that they cannot set up no more commission. Amatuñ beneen 419 commission bu ñoo set up. They have come up with this scheme of pension scheme. But guess what? Parliament refused because people, the outcry, loolu lañ foog na ñoom ñoo gën a yellow askan bi. Xaalis bi askan wi bi suñ mbokk yi di fay jigéen ñi sona di ko liggéey si marché yi di jaay seen butuuti seen vegetables yi di fay seen taxes yi nit ñi di liggéey si offices yi ñu leen a fay peanuts ñuy fay taxes yi ñoom ñu ne ñoom ñoo gën a yelloo ñooñu xaalis pour ñoom salary bu faat like leen luñ leen liggéeyal dëkk bi yéen. And most of these people were not working in Gambia. They were working for 22 years. They were outside Gambia. That was where they were working. They were paying their pension out there. Their contribution was being paid outside Gambia, not in Gambia. How dare you come to Gambia back after all these they were not even paying enough taxes in these monies we were paying them from the commission. Ñu wax ne ñun suñ xaalis waat nañ si génne waat pour defal leen a fat pension scheme, because most nañ ne wow, same friend is there, they will go and take it to parliament like Tambadou was doing during all these commissions that was set up. Every time we dem back to parliament, they extend the commission, they go extend ñu leen a fay, they go extend ñu leen a fay. Loolu yëpp was a scheme to rata askan wi. They were milking us. And Gambia ñi ñëw fii di déglu ñii mooy lan Human Rights Commission buñ leen faale. Waxuñ pour ñun is not for us. It's a scam. Them calling themselves human rights is a scam. Because if you are a human rights fighter, what you fight for the people, not for your lawyer friend. You don't fight for an AG, a former AG, you don't fight for them. You don't speak for them. Because he can speak for himself. He is a lawyer like you. He can speak for himself. You speak on behalf of the people. Lima expect on more si yente biga xamantene ñu ngi arrest these young people who are out demanding the list, demanding transparency and accountability. I expected you to speak, to condemn the police for arresting these people, not to come out and start pointing fingers at journalists who are doing their job. You should have been, we are thanking these journalists. Yen loolu ngeen warona def seen liggéey la waaye defu leen ko. Waaye nag comme ni nga ko waxee rek ku la abal bot wax la foy xool. Tambadou is the one. When you go out in Gambia, these are the people that weekends, on Sundays, they go talk the nan ataya the barbecue. You know, them the same restaurants, they sit down and drink and they eat ni watan the retan. They buy ni fi so waxe ñu ne oh bay leen ñu nekk ci diaspora bi fi ñu nekk di wax rek ñoom nañ fa nekk di jaay fat bellies. That is what they're doing. They sit, they drink. The same people, their friends, their kids will marry each other like Limalen Warek. These are the very people that are going to marry each other. They will send their kids to go and study abroad from our money, from our resources, and they will bring back their same very kids to come back and lead you. While you, the voters who are suffering and going and voting them in, you will continue suffering and they will continue progressing. ñoom human progress ñoom la ñoo def dëkk bi duñ ñoo jëkka dëkk bi de suñ waxee su élection jotee ñu ñëw naan leen Adama Barrow ñëw naan leen defal naa leen lii bildal naa leen mosque bildal naa leen hospital lopitaan it's not Adama Barrow's money. Oh, he come and give you 500,000 here and there. No, Sako Malo, it's not his money. Ahmad Ba di ñu ngi yóbbu nit ñi Maka. Oh, Ahmad Ba yóbbu na ma Maka. It's not their money, Gambia. It is not their money. It is your money. It's your money. The money Adama Barrow is giving you, building schools, while like Adama Barrow Sampan after school, no, it's not his money. You know what, Gambia? Let's just go back to before 2016. Did Adama Barrow have money to build schools for you? No, he didn't. There are people, you know, the Gambians, they never work in government. They're building schools somewhere. They are building stuff in their community. They're not working for government. Those people, if they now become in power and then they start giving you schools and this, then I can say, bravo, you were doing it prior to you becoming president or minister. If you were sending people to make Ahmad Ba before, your relatives or your neighbors or whatnot, before you became minister, I can say, yes, you were doing it before you have the money, but you were not doing it. So you can't come here and claim that you are yobin in Yimaka. Suñ xaalis ngeen a use, suñ budget biñ leen jox, nga xam ne we go and take loan outside the country. You come and then we give you you have this allowance, Adama Barrow, or this and this and that, and then instead of using that for something law and people, you go and use it to politics. That's what. Look at their wives. You've seen them before they became president. Before Adama Barrow became president, you saw their wives. You saw their family members. You were going to the market with their wives. You see them. The struggle to buy Bena Kobosa or Bena Jet because the market is the meeting. Send domi yen and toga nyom su school. The janga Bena class. Si tabuli damayi, si tabuli miti, si these difficult situations. Here, si don't toga send domi, tay ana send domi. Most of them send their kids back outside the country to go to America, UK, other countries to go and educate themselves. And when they come back, they will have a very good education system. They will benefit from this education system in the West, and they will come back and be the leaders of tomorrow. In the meantime, you who is suffering, you who is waking up early in the morning, perhaps before you go to school, you will go fetch water before you go to school. So watch it. So watch it. Put them. You are there. You cannot even study properly. That's why you can't pass exams. Why? Because you are struggling. You are thinking of the next meal. And then these same very people, the little money you are contributing towards the coffers, they are using it to enrich themselves. And then when elections come, they will come back to you to ask you to vote for them. How is that fair, Gambia? How? Assets your Hamilton and women, they could have used all these tractors they're talking about to give it to the women. Women are suffering. Dishonor. They don't have the equipment for their farming. Don't you think that instead of selling this, the government should have given it to you jigen ñi nekk ci farmi mu jappalé len su féké né dafa limbu ga rek moy pour dimbalé len loolu la warona def dafa né you know what, these tractors and these farming equipments that we have, because I've seen a lot of lists going around saying that Yaya Jammeh had a lot of equipment that is used for farming, and we know that Jammeh used to farm. Just imagine if they took all those equipment, they put it back in the community, give it to the women, then take it and you will be using Nico monitor, you to go use the farm. Can you imagine the difference this would have made in this woman's life? Just imagine that instead of selling it for peanuts, putting it back in the community is what you should have done. Instead of using it, Jaiko said frenzy, but they will go and use it or perhaps even sell it something more expensive. That is what Gambia, amount of money. What we're saying is affecting all of you. It affects all of us. Because something lo hamentene muno nenko jerinyo, mom len jerinyo Jaiko peanut to send own friends. And then we don't see the money. Something we could have made, according to people. If this were sold properly, we could have made billions, not millions, billions. Just imagine what that could have done for us. Look at how women are going to hospitals, giving birth, dying. Right now, do you expect Adama Barrow's wives or Ahmad Ba and all these ministers send Jabari, those in Gambia's hospital? No, they don't. They're not. And before 2016, they were going to the same hospitals like you. But today, they cannot go there. They're not going there. They feel that they're too big to... dara. Lo xamantene war nañ fa dem. Mota duñ fa dem. Dañoo dem Europe. Faju ji. Am na ñoo xamne tay ñi ñoo tuumal ne xaalis bi si ñu nekkon si jànne comme ñu ngi nekk America as I speak to you. Doing what? They are there. You get America, ma wahe yo. Luifa def. We know you are there. I'm not gonna mention people's name here because man, that's what they are doing. They are flying about the Tuki, the Enjoy Send Bopa, Sute Newton Fee. You see how they're flashing, like I said yesterday. You saw Batambedu's marriage with that Binta. Ask yourself, where do these people get this kind of money? They ko pasar pasare hali soko amna façon hali soko de pasar pasare yena hali si ligay loko because fi lo fi ligay balang ko gene amna naka nga ko gene ye. This is it. Yen suko defe ngeen tok di setan nan hey kili feka sen halis la ñoo use. So Gambia, I'm saying that it's about time we wake up and we need to continue fighting for this injustice. We pare demand transparency, accountability. Video bi guda na buguma wona def video bu guda bi why buguma def live because Facebook so
and the reasons and their demand, hence why they went on the streets. Those people are protected. Just wanted to give you guys the harama wa olofsa video bi buguma muguda legi la wacha ligay te ñun don follow lu don happen Gambia moy suñ brothers ak suñ sisters suñ arresté at Banjul, particularly the gala members ñi nga xamne dañ génnon tay pour protest pour demand Gambia government release the names of ñi nga xamne ñoo jënda aseti Jammeh yi nga xamne sa du aseti Jammeh aseti Gambian si yëpp la ñu mëna wa légui ñana ko jënda ñana ko jaay ñaata lañ ko jaayé ak ana xaalis bobu nonu. Fokna that demand and that call is a Carolian call pour beren domi Gambia nga laajte those questions. Now ñu jox leen context tuuti ñun yëpp faatu ñu in 2016 amon nañ changes bu changes boobu noonu amee ñu jël nguur gi toog léegi jël seen loxo teg c'est alali Jammeh o bagage yi nga xam ne Jammeh moo ko moomoon waaye ñun ñëpp mënuñoo umpu ñu ne mun nañoo wax ne alali Gambien la so bagage yooyu ñu jël ko kasaara ko def ko nakan sudul noonu jëndakati ñoo nekkoon jaaykati and that's what really happened ñu indil ñu génne report report boobu noonu justice minister bi di current justice minister muy Dawda Jallow bu mu taxawee si néegi député ñu laajte ko mu ne am nañ report bi waaye for the sake of protecting ñu jënda bagage yooyu noonu duñ publish list boobu noonu which is wrong because néegi député yi ñu ñoo saanil député yooyu noonu yëpp karta ñu dem represent ñu so su justice minister waree toog 2-3 years ago taxaw si néegi député yi wax ne waaw ñoom nguur gi am nañ list bi waaye duñ ko publish foog naa ne suñ député yi waroon nañoo jël seen jéego ak seen motuwaay make sure ne li nga xam ne public interest la pour Gambien si ñun ñëpp ñu jot si now from what I understand ne some MPs or within the National Assembly am nañ list boobu noonu so the question is why has they not published that list lan lañ am pour nuba because at the end of the day alal boobu noonu buñ kasaara o buñ jël jaayante ko ñoomen neen di nubantu kana ko jënd ak kana ko jëndut it belongs to all of us lii mun naa njëriñ Gambia mun naa njëriñ si wàllu jàng mun naa njëriñ si wàllu lopitaan mun naa njëriñ si wàllu so lu gaayi galay di laajte is something pertaining now nañ clarify something because xam nga Gambien gi lu ñoo def rek ñu bari dañ si dee dugal politique ñu bari dañ si dee indi ñiiroo ŋaaroo xaajale every doomi Gambien bu jutu constitution yi Gambia bi moo la jos ay yena sarta ak yena faana the constitution of the Gambia is absolutely clear every Gambia have a right to assembly loolu is in the constitution it's clear suñ right la kenn mënuñu koo xañ muy président Barrow muy the current IGP mënuñu koo xañ now there is another thing called the Public Order Act bi nga xam ne boobu tam dafa laaj su nit yi di bugg a protest dafa am ay fànn yu ñoo jël soo gisee nit yi di laajte protest di laajte permit su ñoo protest mooy one pour police bi provide leen safety ak security ak second tam su nekkee ñuy protest dañoo use lu ñoo owee megaphone or amplified speakers ak yu demee noonu waaye gis nañ ne gaay gala yi apply nañ permit di current IG bi nga xam ne goro président bi la which we are not surprised ki nga xam ne daf ko jëlee immigration ñoo def ko inspector general of police nga xam ne maakama inspector general of police ak immigration sa is different waaye loolu is another conversation for another day ñu deny loolu noonu te just jox leen li nga xam ne rek tamit pour gën a fàttali nit yi since 2020 mooy li ñeneenti at yu passé nii yëpp Gambien si apply nañ 4 permits 4 times 4 different permits pour protest peacefully about transparency, accountability, and justice. Why the Gambia Police Force dañoo deny those permits. So let me way they go on to Mar Nyang's page. Permits you know you move. Now, Gambians can protest without a permit. Comme ñuy toog ne waa police yi bañ nañ pour jox leen permit su gaay yi génnee dañ yaaxal luwaa bi déedéet du nekkul loolu la luwaa bi wax the constitution of the Gambia is very clear dafa wax ne mbooleen doomi Gambia dafa am yena fànn ak yena sarta yu la constitution bi jox so the constitution is very clear about the right to assembly that is in the constitution ñun am nañ right boobu noonu ñun ñu toog bitim réew ak yéen ñu toog Gambia yëpp am nañ right boobu noonu now dafa am luwaa boo xam ne nag luwaa bu jalgati la moo tax even nguur bu es bu fi nekk bugguñ koo change because time yi Jammeh mun doon use loolu against Gambia mooy lu ñoo oowee Public Order Act bi Public Order Act bi dafa laajte soo waree protest danga war a laajte permit waaye permit boobu noonu dafa am ay sarta wala am ay conditions yu fa nekk waaye soo use public speaking system like comme lu ñoo oowee PA comme defuloo possession di mark si ko tali gi yooyu noonu di block moto ak yu demee noonu every Gambians have a right to assembly with or without a permit loolu na leer so gars yi duñ mën a toog rek ne deny nañ permit bi joxuñ any valuable reasons di nga xam ne loolu constitution bi daf ko guarantee Gambien tey ñii ñu ngi waroon a génna 11 o'clock pour have a peaceful assembly jógee fa dem hand over a petition to the Attorney General Minister of Justice pour ñu release list boobu noonu guess what they did before even ñi gaada sax amul kenn ku si use PA because lii it's a reaction te lii lañ gis depuis 2016 mu ngi happen anytime bu incident happen rek gars yi jël police yi gars yi jël paaray on a very heavy handed tactics pour ñëw di intimidate public si wala di arrest nit yi ak yi demee noonu man nu ma ko gisee arrest ñoom Keksane, Bob Keita, and all the leaders, Mamadi Kurang and ñu jiitu Korago is unlawful. The policy tam dañ war a bàyyi seen xel. Unlawful order is not an order that they need to follow. Ñi seen brothers lañ, ñun ñëpp ay Gambian lañ. Yaa ngi understand? So ñi committing ben crime si lu ma gis ak si lu ma xam te man doon déglu a very renowned and respected Gambian lawyer mooy lawyer Lamin J Dabo moom xawoon naa gis situation bi sax waaye moom tam clarify na what is the requirement of that Public Order Act te ñoom ñu dem tey aaj bi yépp kenn teew si woon mic or mega sound system. So what are the grounds put policy war a arrest ñi before even protest bi war a start? And then what are their charges? Te nga léegi nga gis tactics you guys di deploy. Jël kii drop ko Yundum, jël kale drop ko Brikama. These are Gambian people. They are not terrorists. They are demanding something li nga xam ne ñun ak even those police should be demanding those same things, which is transparency, fight of corruption, and accountability. Now, duñ jël comme lu mel ni lu aga over $1 billion. ñu def ko naka si dun noonu nit yi war a génn pour laajte loolu noonu ñu ñoo wax yeneen sarta yi nga xam ne sax ñoom mënuñ ko explain pour man nu ma ko gisee this arrest is unlawful and these people are Gambian people, they are responsible people. Ku xam Bob Keita doo ko xamee si yeneen ku xam Kex doo ko xamee si yeneen ku xam Kurang ak ñu jiitu ñoom Omar yëpp these are the future leaders of tomorrow. This lii wonewut sax a good sarta pour ñun Gambia. Because freedom of speech, freedom of association, su nekkee nguur gi lu ñoo oote si ñoom they are democratic, dañ ko war a respect. Why this stifle dissent is not gonna work. Te suma uncle Kaw Adama Barrow dafa war a bàyyi xelam. Advice ami nañ ko advice accordingly. Gis nga lu nekka luy yëngu lu ko yëngala ko ëppa doole. Te Gambia ñun ñëpp ñoo si em kenn ëpp si keneen ki. Yaa ngi understand. Ñoom ñu ngi nekka nii lu people yi demand mooy the list. Ñu ngi protect ñoo xam ne maybe dañ sàcca nguur gi waaye ñu génn pour laajte loolu noonu nañ génnee list bi ñu ngi jël ñooñu di leen arrest. What kind of country is that? What kind of law is that? Is that where léegi fii lañ toll si yëfi Gambia te man lu ma si jaaxal sax am na yenn Gambians yoo xam ne tey ñu ngi am place si nguuri Barrow bi the likes of Dr. Cissé buñ ko arresté the likes of Gallas buñ arresté they went and spent the night in the police cell with him. The likes of Modou Sabali presidential advisor buñ ko arresté youth si came out to support him. Ana ñooñu yëpp ñu ngi noppi ne tek. It's just sad. Be pare ñoom fuñ ko base suñ ko fi it's all about intimidation and tactics yooyu noonu pour man this arrest is unconstitutional te buñ foog ne ñun ñu nekk bitim réew dañoo wax pour suuxal or push those look we love our country bugguñ benn problème suñ dëkk waaye nit ki tam yelleefam ak axam den ko jox man if I was in the Gambia I would turn out on the streets and I support them wholeheartedly te ñun tamit ñu nekk si bitim réew fii di wax ak yu demee noonu we can do something outside because nguur gi two things like I ragal social media and their source of funding. Te ñun tamit ñu ngi nekk si bitim réew we should organize a protest in London, we should organize a protest in New York, we should organize a protest in Belgium, we should even organize a protest in Dakar because fon naa nguur bu nekk biir Dakar nañ ko doon support te lu happen nii su nekkoon Sénégal du doon demee noonu because youth si Sénégal yëpp nañ doon génn so suñ youth su nekk Gambia kenn waxul leen na ngeen génn ngeen break rules yi waaye seen brothers ak sisters yu gaay jàppa come out and show solidarity. So kumunta def, I'm seeing certain posts you have some brothers. I'm just thinking like, really? I've blocked 10 people tay. Te waxuma ko ken si ñoom because man foog naa ne tey kuñ August Gambia as a brotherhood keneen ki daf ko wala fiin. Yes, we might disagree with the approach, but ñun ñëpp xam nañ le lu police bi def ak nuñ arresté ñii ni jaaduwut tey it could be 20 of them. But next time you could be there. So that's why su nekkee yëfi réew la su ñëwee ñun ñëpp nañ jël suñ political difference yi ñu tegee ko aside ñu jiital réew bi. If one of our Gambians' right is violated, it means every Gambian's right is violated because even President B, he swear to uphold the constitution of the Gambia. IGB buñ ko waat loolu la waat. The policy buñ leen jox liggéey bi loolu la gaay waat. So the constitution is supreme. And the constitution said every Gambian have a right to assembly. That's guaranteed. It's enshrined. tey nga use public order ak li nga xam ne is secondary to the constitution pour bundu xataal ñooñu si li nga xam ne sa jaru ko. This in fact dafa create a more exposure in this incident te that public order ak sa ñii violating public order ak bi because the only way nuñ ko doon violate mooy if they were using a public addressing system which they didn't use. So dafa mel ni tey ku am ngente wala ku am taka wala ku am programme in Gambia including even the political rallies yu President Barrow di def dañ ko war a laajte ndax am na permit. Because in fact seen rally yooyu noonu they using a PS system tey suñ amee ngente wala ñu am taka dañ dee block traffic bi and we using sound system and PS system. Do they go and arrest those Gambians yi nga xam ne dañoo am ngente or taka? They don't do that. When President Barrow and other opposition leaders are having political rallies non-stop in the Gambia, dañ dee génna laajte ñooñu ndax apply ngeen permit. No. Gis nga in fact sometimes unintentionally danga jox dara the media coverage or the relevance bi nga xam ne niidutoon ko. I think the IGP is ill-advised and man I will speak directly to President Barrow, suma uncle President Barrow, you need to readjust, you need to look at your surrounding because ñaay buy ram si àll gi enewuñ la ko. And it's never too late to do the right thing. It's never too late to do the right thing. Ñun lu ñoo laajte mooy those 20 youths that's been arrested ngeen def leen si different police station pour rek indi that difficulties pour even access to legal or seen family di la mun a yóbbu lekka or naan or nit yi di la mun a seeti. You've made it difficult in a country like Gambia. How can you even arrest your own youths? The futures of tomorrow ngeen dugal leen si different moto di daw dëkka to dëkka different police stations. Is that not kidnapping? Because ku nga arrest am dafa am right dafa am yelleefam am na right pour am legal representation am na right pour family am ñoo seet ko am na right pour lekka pour naan. And what are you guys doing about that? Jël ñi yóbbu leen Brikama jël ñi yóbbu Sanyang. And to the youths of Gambia yéen laay waxal directly I'm not inciting any violence woo ma la ngeen génna di create ay liini ak yu demee noonu but if this was other countries seen you si nañ doon génna sone solidarity. They cannot arrest us all. They cannot arrest all the youths. dañoo dafa difficult rek gis nañ ko when that riot happens in Serekunda few years ago. They could not arrest all the youths. So if our youths' rights are stifled or trampled on, ñun tamit dañ war a set tege suñ difference fale ak ñooñu noonu jàppale leen son solidarity. Even if we don't agree in public, if they violate our brothers and sisters' rights, dafa mel ni ñun tam suñ rights yi ñun lañ violate. And this kind of arrest dafa need to stop Gambia. They are playing the same playbook bu Jammeh and President Barrow taxaw na wax ko mu ne luwaa yu fi nekkoon ak soldaar yi ak doole bu fi Jammeh amoon mu still am ko but we thought he was bluffing but the man is going through his words and pour man foog naa ne is the people around him because tey suñ jëloon ñii ni jox leen permit bi then they're just gonna come 1 hour they do what they need to do ñu dem hand over seen letter bi Jammeh ne ñooy and we need to call out the hypocrisy of these National Assembly members. Yep, I hypocrite like they're not there to serve the Gambian interest. They are there to drive their pajeros, get as much as they can, and they are not there to serve the interests of the country, which is unfortunate because Nyom, Justice Minister be more out. Send heavy. Nelly, he's not gonna release that report. And now all of a sudden, the majority leader, Hama Bilal Tunkara Hamanaka, Munge put table emotion. For what? You had the list, Yen MP, you have amnesty to stand in the chambers and release that list if you have it. So Lenko Defut, I cowards again. We've seen that during Jammeh. Smart Bar once did that. The House Assembly, what lumo, what def lumo def. He could not be arrested because if you are a National Assembly member at that chamber, law for what, law for def, you give an amnesty. But no, not this legislature. All they can care about is Prado Union Dawal, seen dogo padaay mi ñoo am ak seen tukki yi ñoo am and now all of a sudden ñu ngee ne ñoom they want to do the right thing. Why didn't you do it 2-3 years ago? It's too late. And all these people are asking for just release the list. How difficult is that? List bi nga xam ne yéen a ngi ko amee 3 years and nañ si talk. What is in that list bi nga xam ne yéen bëgg leen nit yi gis ko? And sooner or later, look, you cannot sit on that list forever. And changes would happen. We in 2026 be or next presidential election, changes would happen. All this would come out in the public. Why not do it now? Why do we have to have this crisis? Why do we have to have this negative coverage? Telingana Daphne on social media, on TikTok, on Twitter, everybody is talking about it now. For what? You could have given them the permit. Imagine 4 years, joxewuñ ben protest permit from the Inspector General of Police where people requesting pour ñu protest peacefully. Something is not right there. This even New appointed Inspector General of Police, so we need to revise it. Look at that conflict of interest. Yo, Kinga Hamne, Goro President Biga. Yo, we are entrusting you with our whole internal security. Yo, Tay, Lusa Goro Buga Def, Ngai Def. We need to revisit that. Lua you boni that 1997 constitution. Nyunkofa by Bente is just gonna come back and haunt us, especially that Public Order Act. It's a bad law. And a bad law should not be enforced. Why? Our constitution is supreme, guaranteeing you a freedom of assembly. As long as we are responsible and doing it according to the confines of the constitution. Man no mako gise, and what everybody else except ñi nga xamne the few minded narrow-minded people, everything ñom dañ ko negative or politicize ko or farfarlo fini, they're saying otherwise. Because ñom even the charge buñ leen charge unlawful assembly. How? Where? When? What is the definition on lawful assembly? Just what? Because Jehovah and permit. People don't need to have a permit to protest. They only need that permit if they're using a public addressing system or doing a possession on a public highway, which did not happen. Before they even gathered. What kind of reaction in that? And my final word goes to these paramilitaries and these police officers. Gis nañ the stories of the TRRC. Don't repeat that again. Bulen defini that changes happen, elexibiti nyulana talk on a national television, and you have to relive those moments with your family. Gambia get for tuti ñun ñep dañ xamanté. Don't do the bidding of these politicians. If you are given an unlawful order, it's within your right to deny that unlawful order. Man moy wa fini tay suma ube suma bunti parliamentary office bi. Almost every day we have a protest here. And the laws of UK are pretty much similar with the laws of Gambia, because most of our laws are colonial laws. Why here is similar. Parliament Square, Kukoham in London, it's almost protest almost every day. But the police would come and make sure those protesters are safe and secure, and then the job permit. Gambians have protested at Parliament Square during Jammeh time. People that knows what I'm talking about are talking, knows Lumawa. So buñ tok fi ne wa te arrest na ñom Kex, ñom Bob Keita, or ñom Hakim, or ñom Kurang. And what we gonna do? Gambians should come out, muy you'd be muy opposition leader, muy the media, and we demand the unconditional release of their unlawful arrest. This is unlawful. Meparesa is turning out to be a kidnap now. Is Gambia a police state? President Barrow cannot have his cake and eat it. You cannot say we are in democracy, but everything that is promoting and in the principle of democracy going against it. Protest is part of it. Protest. If someone is not afraid, why do we have to hide? Why is it so difficult to publish that list that we have to go and arrest youths asking for that? Question. Where is that money? It's our money. It's not Jammeh's money. It's not President Barrow's money. It's not Batambedu's money. It's our money. That money could benefit us, benefit our children and our grandchildren to come. Why do they have to sit on that list? And this is what these people are demanding. Release the list. We have to thank the Republic and Mustafa K. Dabo. They did a brilliant job. Why ñun as a citizen, am nañ role bu ñoo play. Yes, when the government do well, you applaud it. But when they did something that is wrong, we come out and criticize and demand better. Because ñun ñoo leen fa tek. We are the one paying their wages. They are not our masters. They are not kings. We elect and we unelect. Te kuñ fa tek tamit, you have to run things ni ko wara bugé mu dem. It's just unfortunate and it's so sad ne Gambia, this is where we are now. And a youthful appointees like the information minister who published that newspaper article. He was arrested. Guess what happened? The likes of Gallas New arrested, went and spent the night in a cell with him. We were police in. We're not going without him being released. The youths went to Banjul headquarters and demanded his release. Where is he? He's quiet. The same thing with Sabali. You have another youth minister, the same thing like Bakari Baji. Yep, since we made their positions in the government, they mainly like they're not even youths like us. What has happened today is wrong. Sinko Wahe, Sinko Hood is wrong. Their arrest was wrong. It was unlawful. Anybody who says otherwise is telling you something different, because the constitution is supreme to that public order act. Public order act Bobonon is secondary. Why are the police relying on that? Why do they always have to deny people permits? In fact, that permit should not sit with the police. It should sit with maybe the National Human Rights Council or even Parliament, because the IGP is a political appointed. President Moko Fal, President Moko Folly. Lu jaadul si president or lu sutu president bi du ko def. And taxi tamit goram la legi. Can you just imagine the things that are happening in Gambia? And ñun tam ñu nekk si diaspora bi, it's not just about sitting on our keyboards and typing. What are we going to do in the international community? Because Gambia government depends a lot on the donor partners. Te ñoom hit them on the social media, hit them on their pockets, si la ñoo am senses. They don't respect us, the Gambians, but they respect their international donor partners. That's where we need to mobilize also. Make sure we demand for a better Gambia. With transparency and account, nguur bi anything lu ñëw rek dañoo jël di nubu mank. What are they hiding? And Lucy Gena Nyao Moy, things would fall apart. You will never see the president come out and address the nation. If he's not conflicted in this by now, warona again amune ni ak ni la fi deme mu demand nañ gene Lisby. Why is that not happening? What do they have to hide? All this disaster we happen or we deal with happens between 2017 to 2019. That's where it all happened. And we can't move on as a country unless we fix that part. And we've all got a role to play. So yen tamit dañ wara be careful. There are some agents implanted, particularly in Uneka Gambia, violent hell. There is people that are trying to sound us, they are supporting our cause or they're supporting these people cause. They are not. They are all state actors. And if need be, we will start calling their names. Because dojel niti nga mne sinyom nga boka wayange dem si gana di johe information on all that. That's what Jammeh did during that NAFSA thing. He took young youth students, mu implant len, nyonyu were state informants and actors. And that is what happened with this Galafini. I've seen it. I have the evidence. So we need to be very, very careful. This is a time for a national call. It's not about demanding for anything else. The demand is simple. Release that list. Release the arrested people, the unlawful arrested people unconditionally. And then we move on. Gambia is for all of us. We all want to see a better Gambia. But no, we are always going one step forward, 10 steps back. Look at Senegal with just their changes. They're going to the moon. They're sending rockets to the moon. Africa, but we are backwarded. And it's all down to the kind of leadership we am. They want to take the responsibility, fail, but they don't want to be accountable. Yes, you can delegate your responsibility, but you cannot delegate your accountability. Lolu, it's part of leadership. So neke njit nga ñoo niti sani la karta tek la fa dafa am yo tamis li nga xamne dañ ko wara jox ahi niti. And that's not happening in the Gambia. So I am stopping the video here. I just wanted to make a quick video pour one so and sisters yuñ arrest te ñun tamit am nañ a right to support them mentally, physically, spiritually. Yen tam ñu toog Gambia foofu noonu bu leen tofu di Holland seen own brothers and sisters ñu leen a def naka si du noonu, and you sit behind your keyboards and just type in. No. Sometimes these people need to see us to demand. We're not saying go out on the street and riot and damage properly or commit criminal. No. We are saying they cannot arrest all of you. Go out there and demand for them to release your brothers and sisters. My Amalefi video be. Gambia has moved on. We say no to dictatorship. As for the youths, particularly ñoom ñu arrest, stay strong. History would judge you right. waroon naa nekk more than even 20, but this is the Gambia for us. People dañoo toog di la jaay si internet gi ak when it's time for action or call for action, you see people taking step back. So you wane ngeen ne ay gor ngeen, mun ngeen leaders, you mean your words, and all we can say is kudos and well done to you guys, and we are with you together. If you cannot support this youth, please do not be negative towards them, because the cause they are fighting is not about them, it's about all of us. Te man kuma gis nga binda si suma timeline bi li nga xam ne yaa ngi discrediting ñi wala leen dispatch, I have the right with my block button to block your buguma comment. I wrote to him ne ko na bàyyi xelam because respect naa ko, anybody else naa ko doon block. Jërëjëf, thank you so much. You fanaan
following the publication of Mustafa Allah's story, Kuja Malakita, some ministers threatened to sue him and sue other journalists for Ninkyol Findita to express their disquiet and Ngajele Mun arrest at 16 to 17 people. The last count we had. You know, Bangkok situation, we all know. But one of the reasons why I am doing this Facebook, because I did one earlier on, is Emmanuel Daniel Joof, the chairperson of National Human Rights Commission, and Emile Toure. He was one time president of the Gambia Press Union. He spent his entire life on a media wall. To our disappointment and dismay, Menketa Wolemko, following the publication, Emmanuel Joof, the man who's supposed to be, he's supposed to be on a moral high ground. And in Emile Toure, Mengalanko, he's part of the media commission that was formed recently, because I don't see the need, because we already have Gambia president. So why do you need that nonsense institution? They went, after Mustafa Ala Sabalanang, for him to do a joint statement, Puruka Batambedu to clear Ninkokono, Katuko, Batambedu Bedu somewhere, and this can put the reputation into his image. So, Nimenun Dumale, Dinkwanymbeke can Dumale. But not many people know about it. But we were waiting for authorities, that is the Gambia Press Union, to do this, to issue a statement. So here's the thing. You see the hypocrisy in the Gambia. Yalon Adama Barrow is just one part of our problem. But the institution and the people we have who are leading those institutions, those are the problems. Who will expect Emmanuel Joof to undermine the growth of democracy, freedom of speech, and so on in the Gambia? Because Hanim Kutije, among all the people in the Gambia, he is not the most educated. He's not better than any other person. But they said, let's get him and put him there so that he can also. We saw what he said at the TRRC. We all complain about what happened on the Jame. He said like things he served during that period. Okay, but I remember you paint Jame just like Batamil like his thing. Like we all know, Jame Manjolon Santo. He's not from a royal Arab royal family. Okay, the wealth he acquired, it extorted from Gambians. It was stolen. It was looted. So nobody should be proud of. Even I see some people are saying that, look, this is not acquired by Jamme Taro. That is one thing. Going back to Emmanuel Joof, Emile Toure. Emile went to jail because of freedom of press, journalism, media work, and so on the Jame. Who will expect Emile? Because this is not the first time. I'm sure a couple of weeks ago you saw a story called Voice newspaper. They were forced to apologize because he has story mensafe. Because Menkera apparently, Ismaila called Voice newspaper journalist to his office, and he called Emily. And Namuel Emily be manya minke kanje, yelling at journalists. And if you guys remember, Ismaila went to jail, though Ismaila was arrested because of this. Because he said the long-term security cannot be handled by the economic forces. This Voice newspaper will publish them. So that Ismaila is the one calling journalists to his office, involving, because Hanatari, even though they don't have credibility, I mean the media commission, because even though they have their image is stained, Emily should not be part of that. But now they did that. Those people were forced to apologize, to retract their statement, number one. So they think they will do this with Mustafa again for it to work. You see, I think Gambia, here is the thing. Like I always said, Kongoto Banko Taylor, Keleto Banko Taylor, Nafikia Wulebo Banko Taylor, touch Medaha. Because nobody in that country will expect Emmanuel Joof and Emile Toure to be undermining the media work in that country, the growth of that country. Because if you undermine the media, you are undermining the growth of the country. Because Emile was in that country, did he write any article to pressurize government to release these names, the buyers of Jammeh? No. Have you guys ever heard called National Human Rights Commission issued a statement, ask government or pressurizing them to release the list containing the buyers of Jammeh Fenko? No. When Mustafa published this story, he was under a lot of pressure. But did you hear a Human Rights Commission issued a statement to say we stand by him because I menki anyanda kwaleke? No, almumwe. But this is a man, Emmanuel, you know, I thought you are a good Christian because the image you project outside there is like you are holier than thou. But on the whole, we are so disappointed. So I think the best thing for Emmanuel Joof, fellow Gambians, let him just resign or he should be forced out of that office. Because so long he continues to serve there, the image, the credibility of that institution is going to be in tatters. Of course, we know their stand. But since they have shown people their true color, so now, we will call people's name and tell them, you either leave or they force you out of office. Mustafa did not commit any crime. You see, Gambianol, this is the problem. They don't celebrate their own people, but they celebrate people outside. Anas Aramio Anas of Ghana, he's not doing a better job than Mustafa. He's doing a great job. But Yalong, this is the situation. Jaliba Kamemfo, Mofila Jamali Beka, Monima, Imoke Fentina Fatalume Ekaya Turaela. So Gambia Betembo Mento, it has reached at that time when Abdoulaye Wade was president and you should not release a song. You remember that song, New Senegal Reklen Dunko Foe, Dunko Cafe. Farmer do good young, whatever it is. So that is the stage we have arrived now. Batarea Momoka Bakela, we will get you. We will come after you. John Gitongo of Kenya, he was a journalist. He uncovered corrupt practices during Mwai Kibaki's time in Kenya. Guess what? Michel Rong had to write a book. It is our turn to eat because of the level of corruption in Kenya at the time. Anas Aramio, Anas in Ghana, the same thing. Like I said earlier today, Banku Sobeo, Molka Menki. I gave you an example of James Iburi. He was one time governor of Delta State in Nigeria. James Iburi was elected as governor of Delta State. He was involved in money laundering, corrupt practices. You know what they did? That state stayed in Alfal, Walla Kafranyum, and one of the ministers from there, because you know in Nigeria it's a federal state. You have a federal level and a state level. They came and told the minister from there, you know what you do? Let's write a petition. They wrote a petition and they sent it to Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu Ribadu was the chairman of EFCC, Economic Freedom Fighters of Nigeria. What happened was, you know, Nuhu Ribadu, who later contested presidency in Nigeria, ignored their call, and they made so much noise, and later they had to go and arrest this guy. He was arrested in London. And the neighboring area, Bayelsa State, the prayer Alemasia, he too was involved. The same people, Nigeria oil minister, Jazania Medweke, the same thing. She stole a lot of money. We know what they did? They said, let's go after her. Because Nimoke, Bankote Tano, Molkonga Bankoke Datel Kote. Besides, if you cannot do, you just get out from that position, let somebody come. So Gambia, here's the thing. You know, they have been advocating for gay marriage, homosexuality, and so on. But now, this is something that is dead, life and death issue for us. Gambia, Human Rights Commission credibility, National Human Rights Commission under Emmanuel Joof, Emmanuel Daniel Joof, is big circle level, is questionable. So long he presides over that institution, nobody should listen to them. We don't have anything against you, but nearly people are coming after you today because of your behavior. So that is the thing. And the other issue has to do, Emile Toure, is better you get out from that media commission, because what you have worked all these years, no one will ever think of Emile Toure. The guy who was arrested with Pap Sen and many other people, they were locked up. There was an outcry for them to be released. Niko bi wole kana, fake journalist will come ikadol Kadafi, ikadol Silande, go and pull this story. You call him Mustafa Dabo. Boy, if you cannot help Mustafa, don't be part of the people who will undermine him. Because you see, people say Jammeh is intelligent, Jammeh is this. I'm not saying he is not. You know why Jammeh has succeeded? Because he knows that we have so many snakes in that country. They are not sincere, they are not honest, they are not patriotic. So he pits our heads together. Because if you undermine your fellow, that's how he was able to prolong his stay in that country. So my call is very simple. Gambia Press Union has issued a statement expressing their disappointment. Journalists are writing, people are calling Emmanuel Joof resign. Emmanuel Joof resigned from National Human Rights Commission. Please do yourself the honorable thing and resign. Emile Toure, get out from that National Human Rights, National Media Commission. We know we raise serious questions about these commissions in the country, because we know they will go, and the people who will be there. Every country is moving. This is the only country that is stuck. So these two people, they are undermining everything in that country. Like I said, an institution like National Human Rights Commission will let chairperson telling journalists, let's do a joint statement to clear somebody. That somebody who said Jammeh was this, Jammeh was that. He coined all those things, political brinkmanship. What the hell is going on in that country? Where are we going? So, Human Rights Commission, what they are doing now, I think they are trying to back criminals. You did not issue any statement. You did not pressurize the government to release the bias. But now you can them. So, this is it. Gambia is at just stage now. And there's still a handful of people to destroy our country. Mba Wulenke.